Theater couple Michael Urie and Ryan Spahn have been together for more than a decade, but this year has been one like no other, especially for actors. We're featuring Michael and Ryan in this week's edition of Couples in Quarantine. How has quarantine been for both of you?
We go in phases. I
think we're both very, very grateful that early on we made the decision to stay here, because I think a big part of it is both of us did not want to be uprooted during a time like this where we weren't in our actual home.
I feel like the people that stayed and we were, in the park or walking around or trying to get outside, everyone just had that, I don't know that we said it to each other, but like, hey, thanks for just also being here and staying in New York and seeing it through, right?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about New York is you know that they're not always friendly, but they've got your back. The period of time where you really kept a distance from people on the street was sort of like going away, and you're like, oh, that person's close to me, but they're masked, and I know they've made it this far, so they must be doing something right, and I know I'm doing something right. You're just able to really trust New Yorkers.
Yeah.
So let's talk about what you guys did with Buyer Cellar, because that was a pretty incredible.
We were sitting here thinking, well, if we were to do this, if there was a way to somehow stream a show from the apartment, and I do know this one person play, I have this solo act that I have done many, many times. We've worked together a lot before. We've made some on-camera projects and movies and web series. So we know our way around a set.
But specifically, we also know our way around a set as a couple putting something together. And I think a lot of couples or people in quarantine together maybe didn't have that initial skill set. They learned it over the course of the pandemic.
Yeah,
we sort of launched in having already figured out how to work together.
And we just did it with a lot of trial and error. And Ryan was here in the room, and everybody else was like a voice in my head, or a voice in my ear, or like a little box on a computer. It was crazy and extremely exciting. And then when it was over, I took a bow, our cameras went off, and it was quiet in here. And I walked over to Ryan, and I was like, did it work? When we did Buyer Cellar in April, we didn't think it was going to be a year. We didn't think it was going to be such a long, a year plus before there would be theater again. To see how theater companies have found ways to stay busy and to keep actors employed. And there have been so many exciting projects that have come around.
Theater makers are by nature problem solvers. They, just the nature of what it is we do. And so I think this was a specifically interesting challenge, not a permanent life, but an interesting challenge to get us through this time.